I told you I was in a bad place, a really bad place. I was secluded in my house. They were definitely intimidating us, and I had paper on my windows so they couldn't see in. And
so what about now then? Would you not apply for a FOISA now?
Well, it wouldn't matter. I'd get the same thing, redact it. And it'd all be redacted.
They're not allowed to
I've still got it. I've still got it.
Really?
Yeah. And when I went to the SPSO, the Scottish Public Services Ombudsman,
right.
I had a load of evidence. And
so you've actually been there?
I've done everything possible. Everything possible.
Public service.
And they've waylaid it every time. Unbelievable.
So what year was that then?
Well, I've still got the stuff in the house. You know, I've got all the evidence. I kept it all. I kept everything. I've got a file about that big. And I've got every single letter that ever gave to me. And I'll tell you how this started. This started with, I think it was Arthur Innes saying he put 2 postcards through my door and I hadn't replied to them. I went, any time I get anything for the council, if it needs my presence, I go and deal with it. And
right.
But they never, ever.
Who was that, did you say?
Richard Innes. You'll find him at the West District Housing Office. He's the one that's still going to be. That was him that was attacked with the chainsaw. A couple of years ago, he was attacked with a chainsaw, and that's because he's a womanizer.
Right, I don't know anything about
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm telling you
I've never
the
even
truth.
seen it in the paper.
See, being on the ground level, you hear loads. I look up and I can see the branches in the trees, can? Yeah. So you could take that as gospel.
Right. Well, that's a surprise. I've never heard that.
Yeah, honestly.
But there again,
I've got all the evidence.
I was shocked and surprised by some of the things that you've been saying.
Yeah, because they negated, it's like I say to you, they negated and just ignored me. And I'm living in an epitome of a house. My wee dog was all right. I've got a wee dog. My wee dog was all right. You want to see the things? It's blind. It's got diabetes. It's got Cushing's disease. It's got osteoarthritis. And the vet told me, Cushing's, that's awfully unusual for that kind of dog. And I found wee coils, wee spirals of metal. I found them in my carpet. I don't know how they got there. And I think, are they putting them through the letterbox so it cut my dog's paw so it bleeds to death? Because if a dog gets its paw cut, that's a main artery. And maybe dog's in a hell of a state.
So you actually think that they've actually
done
that?
Yeah, I think they have. I'm suspicious about them all. They keep taking things away. They've stolen my property as well. And honestly,
so
they stole my water buck for outside my greenhouse. They stole my brazier. Now, I've got loads of evidence to show that I'm a good son of this city.
Right, so what stuff did
my water buck beside my greenhouse, that was their subcontractors, took it for their cement, for that facade that they put on people's houses, which is in a terrible state now. Also, they took my brazier when they come and taken away the fire that we had planned for November the 5th. We had in the year before, and I had, it was a community thing. I had all the people out. We had a big bonfire, we ring around it, we had big buckets of water. The neighbour across the road, Joe, he controlled the fireworks. I did a cookout in my greenhouse with chicken, hot dogs and everything like that. I've got the photographic evidence for that. And then when the pandemic came, they stopped cutting the grass. Me and a neighbour went out and cut the hale backies with hand mowers because people were fed up. They couldn't get out with their dogs and walk about. So we cut the hale backies, the greenies and everything. And I've got evidence of that. See, I took photos and it's like I say, this is my brave pill now. This is my medicine. And honestly, I've done nothing wrong.
I mean, I've said to you that although I was shocked about what was happening, I actually said to you at the time, I've never heard of anything.
Because they'll not tell you.
Your case is so bad that,
yeah.
I mean, why have you not gone to the press?
What press? Dundee Tully or the Dundee Courier? You're joking. The Courier put in, when it was on about the Olympia, the Courier put, oh, questions that must be asked. Oh, there's no one to blame. And you expect me to go to them? It's well known that this sort of, and I can't what you call it now, the press, the freedom of the press. Lindsay Hamilton, I went to her.
Well, she's very good. Well, she's I mean, she's very fair.
I went and I reported the Long Haul development, which is a farce. That should never have been built on. Health and safety issues. And like there was no way that was allowed to be built on for over 40 years. For the Langha Hotel was demolished, and it was unsafe. Now look at it. Look at the development that's there now. Again, what's wrong with this council? Brown envelope developments. That's what's wrong with it. And no, didn't even think that's no real, because it is. It's happening all over Dundee. And the thing that you'll hear in Dundee is the Glasgow accent everywhere. That development just down there, that big huge thingy. You ken what they had on the building site? A sign outside that saying no Dundonians. Yeah.
I never saw that.
Exactly.
I've been down there a few times.
Well, they had no Dundonians. And I can't go down and see if there's any Dundonians working there.
Because we, as a Labour group, we have tried to make sure it's Dundee people that get the jobs.
Well, it's hardly any Dundee people.
It's SNP administration
that
are running the thing. I mean,
and you can how they get past it, because these people that are getting it, the sort of contract, they subcontract it out. The Dundonian that's in a position, trusted traders, subcontract it out to Glasgow. Yeah, have a look at it. Just check it out. I'm a wealth of information. I've just been gathering it in my head.
See, it's no this sort of stuff's no my responsibility. My main stuff is health and social care.
Well, my health and social care was totally negated. My social justice was totally negated. They just didn't even want to ken about me. They just ignored everything. And I'll tell you, I've got a pile of recorded delivery thingies, and that'll tie back to that they received it at least. And I've got other letters and that on my computer, which photocopied, and I kept everything. And that's the thing that'll bring them down. Thing about this is I'm a true Scot, and that's I only ask for true justice. And these people in that Dundee House are criminals. They are, honestly. And I'll go up against them. I care not a jot. And I really will. Now that I've got this is my brave pal.
You should put in a FOIA to get that information, because I don't think they're able to redact anything.
Well, they do. They're not supposed to do half the things that they do, though. I mean, I went down to the Olympia and started filming. He says, "You're not allowed to do that." I says, "Yes, I am." And under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, any public domain, it doesn't need to be a public place. It could be a private place, but if it's got a reception and it's public domain, if you're inviting the public in, it's got public domain. So that law applies. And so. I'm studying law through the internet at the moment. I'm no doing it. I was at university. I did 3 years at university for civil engineering, a BSc honours degree. I had to come out it was a 5-year degree, but I had to come out because what happened to my partner. It was a medical emergency.
How is she?
She's fine, and she's getting better. And but
so I was sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, she's fine now. Professor Andrew Lee, the guy at Nine Wells, was brilliant. He was brilliant with her. Amazing guy. And then he went to Singapore. And I thought, what a loss. And that's it. We're losing all the good things out of Dundee because of the Dundee City Council. That John, John, the leader of the council, John Alexander. Now, I ken boys that ken him. And and at scale, he was a snivelling wee, well, I'll not say. And but honestly, he's just in it for the money. And that's what all them are doing there. And like, they didn't
Well,
like
I
it.
hope you're not classifying me in that.
Well, I
because
didn't ken yet,
it's
Helen.
not-
I didn't
well,
ken yet,
you know
Helen.
what? I wouldn't be here for 42 years if it
Yeah, what,
wasn't that
you
I've
sound the
serviced
same
it.
as me. You've got that Dundonian dialect and
aye.
you didn't change it,
No.
so that's in your favour.
I'm just like anybody else.
Good.
Just like anybody else. And that's why I took up your case and they said they're surprised. And I said, well, no, you have the right.
They're surprised.
You have the right to get some sort of resolution.
Yeah.
And they have to do it. And that's why, if we can get this, it's a big achievement for them to say that
They were wrong.
For you to get your own folk in, and they'll pay.
I want them to say that they were wrong for what they've done to me. That's the main thing. They virtually destroyed my soul. And that. I'm coming back now. And like honestly, I'm getting stronger every day. And they'll regret it. They will regret it. This YouTube thing, I've just only had it for a week. I've got over 4,000 followers already.
Oh.
That's Dundonians who are fed up to the back teeth of what they're doing at. What they're doing to our city. Our city used to be beautiful. And like really beautiful. I remember it.
When we were in administration, it was about getting things to
And
help folk.
I'll tell you, the last honest MP I ever knew was John McCallion. And it's a sad loss that he meant to the Scottish Socialists in Glasgow. We lost a great man there. And we lost a great man with John Smith as well. And like, I'm suspicious about his heart attack. And that. I really am. And like, I don't try to be political.
He hadn't been well for a while.
No, but he was...
Because I knew John Smith.
Yeah.
He hadn't been well for a while.
But he was getting there. And all of a sudden, boom.
Because that's why he liked to get out and be active and go for a walk in the hills. He was an adamant
That's what I'm doing.
climber.
I'm visiting all the parks because of the dissolution that they're in. And like, I'm qualified in horticulture.
So where did you work when you worked in the public works then?
I was an apprentice.
Oh, right.
And then after that, I was a gardener. We brought to landscapes. I did a lot of the regeneration work for Dundee City Council. Thanks to me, those down at Riverside, you know the waves?
Yeah.
Well, they tried to bring in subsoil, and I stopped them. I says, no. I was the head gardener, the head landscaper. I said, you're not putting that crap here. I mean, that'll be a note, because they had the planning in a hand down, because I stopped the guy from dumping rubbish, soil, on something that the architect hadn't planned for. He wanted soil put there. So they had to go and buy soil, I think, and then they did it. And I did a beautiful job with it. My antics are amazing in landscaping. The Lochie Miley, I told you about the Lochie Miley. The thing that they don't know is that's got the first wheelchair ramp access in Great Britain.
Yeah, well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I tell you, a lot of folk happy about that.
Yeah, because I was with the Scottish Wildlife Trust, I was a supervisor, but then I even got thingied over there. Because my line manager, I was in, what was it called now, Edinburgh. He was in Scottish Wildlife Trust headquarters in Edinburgh.
Excuse me, you waiting for me? Okay, thanks.
Oh, it's all right, I don't mind people hearing my story. In Edinburgh,
Well,
Brian Jones.
I respect your privacy.
I don't mind my privacy, it's been eradicated.
Aye, well, I respect it, and that's why I've no spoken to anybody else other than very senior officers at the council.
Right, but
because I think they're the ones that will make the decision.
They're the ends that should have known. And the thing is like I say, when I worked with Scottish Wildlife Trust, Brian Jones, my line manager, when I applied for the supervisor's job, which he was actually doing, because the supervisor left to go to Edinburgh University, John Winnan, I took over the role, but only as a temporary sort of thingy, but then I applied for it. But then he said, I was running the two teams, because the other guy went on holiday, Matt, I can't mind his second name, but he was from England, he went down to England, and when he came back, we had already started establishing the Lochie Miley. Now, When I applied
Well,
for
that was an excellent job. Everybody
Yeah.
says that.
when